Hi everybody, it's Stefan Molyneux from Free Domain Radio. Couple of newsy little items for you today. Just some thoughts about what's going on in the world of politics, particularly in the US. But we've got a trifecta of sexual scandals, I guess, going on at the moment. The Sperminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, having fathered a child by his housekeeper. For about 10 years, had the child pretty much living in his house, had his wife send money and gifts to the housekeeper and to the child and told no one, and of course was running on the family values platform on the Republican Party during his campaign for the governorship of California. That's really quite an astounding thing. I have trouble keeping any kind of secret from my wife, like if I'm planning a surprise for her. I really have a tough time. Having a child of mine running around the house playing with my kids and keeping that secret from her and from the populace at large takes a pretty unusual and I would say pathological personality. There's a conversation in that. Almost everything that happens in life is a conversation of one kind or another. So we'll talk about that as well. Dominique Strauss accused of sexual assault and forced oral sex with I guess an African woman who was a maid who was came into his hotel room while he was in the bathroom, probably masturbating if all of this is true. Again, something quite important. This is only alleged, so we'll see how this plays out. The third one, of course, is Weinergate, which is the congressman who sent Twitter pics of his junk to various college students around. I believe he's admitted to this, so this is kind of in the public sphere now. There's a conversation I think that's really, really important around all of this. But let me give you some statistics about congressmen. This is from a few years ago, but quite important. 29 members of Congress have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have bankrupted at least 2 businesses. I guess they're all working on the USA. 3 have been arrested for assault. 71 have credit reports so bad they can't qualify for a credit card. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 are current defendants in lawsuits. And in 1998 alone, 84 were stopped for drunk driving but released after they claimed congressional immunity. This is very important. This is a conversation that our leaders are having with us. And if we don't listen to it, it is to our detriment on every conceivable level. I wouldn't hire any of these ass clowns as a goddamn babysitter, let alone to run just about everything to do with my life and the life of my future, I guess a future adult child. This is a pretty good test. Would you hire Arnold Schwarzenegger to be your babysitter? I would say not. Certainly not Dominique Strauss and certainly not Rob Weiner. This is not something that we would do. This is a pretty important thing. We try in general in life to start people off with small and manageable responsibilities and then move them up to running quasi-global economies. This is pretty important. What is the conversation that is being had? Well, people are saying very clearly that they're morally crazy, that they're corrupt, that they're capable of bald-faced lying to people, that they are aggressive and entitled and narcissistic and sociopathic and all of these kinds of things. They're saying to this very clearly, very clearly. And the media is playing right along because this must contain head explosion. This is the thing that goes on in American politics, not just American politics, but around the world, which is that, oh man, you see, you can start an illegal war that causes the deaths of over 1 million people. You can attack a country that poses no threat to you whatsoever after having a blockade, which was the US and UK blockade of Iraq that killed about 5 million Iraqi children over a decade. Now they have displaced millions more and murdered another million. You can do all of that. So you can start this illegal war by lying to the general public. And there are no calls for your resignation. There are no calls for impeachment. But use a intern as a cigar holder, tweet your man meat, and suddenly resignation, impeachment, all of this is occurring. Do you see how insane this is? I mean, it's not normal sex. I wouldn't say even particularly healthy sex. But it's sex. That's all it is. It is actually the magic man friction that starts life, that brings it all into being. It's why we're all here. Because somebody looked at somebody else with that gleam in their eye. That's why we're here. So this is really around the creation of life. exception of Dominique Strauss can. And so that must be wildly punished. However, starting wars, running up massive national debts, throwing millions of innocent people into prison in the US, this is cause for the massive legal retaliation called, hey, here's a free pension. Would you like a book deal? But this is the madness. Sex gets you evicted from your job. Piling debt onto the unborn, selling them off into serfdom, doesn't. Starting illegal wars. I mean, Clinton could bomb the living shit out of Kosovo. And there was nary a negative in the media. But, oh my God, he got a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky. And suddenly, everything must come to a grinding halt, and he must be savaged forever, because that's the crime that is worth paying attention to. I swear to God, they're going to look down the tunnel of time from the future to the mad hellscape of our moral Armageddons here, and they will not be able to process what it is like to live in such an inferno of cluster-fracking mental whack jobbery as we live in at the moment. This is the world that we're living in. Tweet your meat. Bye-bye. Everyone takes a step backwards, and nobody can have anything to do with you because you are corrupt and amoral and a cheater and so on. And yeah, he's a cheater. Yeah, he's a cheater. Yeah, he's a liar. Yeah, he's a cheater. Yeah, okay. Okay. So what does that mean about our leadership? What does that mean about the people who are in charge? What are they telling us that we simply refuse to hear, that we refuse to listen to? Well, my friends, until we all start listening to it, we're all Monica Lewinsky.